and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking all about Makeup Revolution. They always come out with lots of collections and I was going to give an overview of all of them, but instead I'm just going to show you a couple of products that I personally picked up from some of their collections, featuring for instance the Coraline collab that they did, which sold out almost instantly in the US but should still be available in the Netherlands. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about their... Now I don't know what it's called. I think it was something like the summer glitter collection. I'm also going to talk a little bit about that. And I just want to refresh your memory that not too long ago they did come out with a Game of Thrones collab. And they also did a couple of sets with them. I know that Makeup by Alex Kate, she featured all of them, but I personally did feature the Forever Flawless eyeshadow palettes and one of the liquid lipsticks. So I'll link that video down below in case you're interested in more Makeup Revolution. But today we're just going to play with some of my new stuff. So the Coraline collection was a little bit smaller than their previous collections, which I personally can always appreciate, but I know not everyone did. So they came out with a big eyeshadow palette, a small one, and they also had some button pins for in your hair. I think they had a lip kit, and then they had this really cute cat bag, which I did pick up. If you don't know, I have a personal obsession with the Pokemon Litten, and it's a black and red Pokemon. So any kind of black or red cat personally strikes my fancy. So I picked up this little bag. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet. I might just use it as a pencil case for my classes. But it's really cute. It's sort of neoprene material. There's a nice little hook on it that's a little bit oddly shaped. I feel like it's decent quality. The ears are sort of fuzzy with a little bit of fake leather on top of it. And I just think the image is very cute. Full disclaimer, I did not see the movie yet. We are currently trying to get it on DVD or Blu-ray, but it's quite expensive. And I don't know, I guess you could always download it, but we don't really do that for some reason. So what I want to do today, I want to play with this eyeshadow palette. I want to show you the lip kit from the shimmer lip kit from that glitter collection. And then I also have two liquid glitter liners that are apparently from that collection. I have one in Silver Flash and one in Teal Bling. And because I like to do my makeup so that I can wear it for the rest of the day, I'm planning to do two looks, and I'm going to do one in a separate video. So for today we're going to play with the Coraline stuff, and I'm going to use one of these liners. And then tomorrow or in a couple of days I'll also try on these eyeshadows from the Ultimate Lights collection in feathered pinks. And I'll pair it with one of the other eyeliners. And I'll use the lip contour kit on both. So that's pretty much all that I picked up from Makeup Revolution over the past while. So if you're interested in that, then please continue watching. And if you like what you see, then subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you. So I already spiked up my brows using Pink Honey, and I did use the Glam Light eyeshadow primer in the shade... Oh, I apparently did not put the cap back. In the shade Classic Vanilla. So I have nice primed lids. Now let's see what we can do with this pretty little purple eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty much a little book. And on the inside it says, "You probably think this world is a dream come true, but you're wrong." Which I don't understand yet, but I probably will soon. And then these are the beautiful shades. I did see a review on the big eyeshadow palette and it also looked very pretty, but I felt like the small one sort of contained everything that was good in the big one. There's no mirror in here, but that's okay, I have my own. So I did put on my black lace clothing and my black jewelry because I feel like we're going to do a very dark and smoky look today. So I have this flat shader brush and I'll of course zoom you in a little bit more. Yeah, this should be fine. And I'm going to start with YB, this one. There are two purples in here, or mid-toned purples in here. One is a little bit more warm-toned and one is a little bit more cool-toned. And I'm going to go for the little bit more cool-toned one. And I'm just going to put this in my crease a little bit above it. I'm going to make this look very deep, so I'm planning to not also make it very high. But you never know. Instantly, I really like the way this eyeshadow builds and blends. See, I always heard that Makeup Revolution didn't have the best quality. And I did try some things in the past and I wasn't blown away by them. But recently their color stories and also their quality have been really nice. So, and because the price point is always amazing and because they are cruelty free, I'm always inclined to pick a little something up if something strikes my fancy. See, this eyeshadow looks just the way it looks in the pan. Maybe a little bit lighter, but not much. And as you can see, it does build. And it doesn't need any other shades to blend it out. I can get a pretty seamless blend with just this shade. And I did experience in some other Makeup Revolution palettes that they do build on top of each other as well. So now I'm going into Soul, which is that deeper purple. And I'm just going to deepen up the crease even more. See, and purples are supposed to be a little bit more difficult to formulate, and I feel like they did a pretty good job with these. And the funny thing is, I know Angelica Nyqvist always complains about the fact that their collections are too big. But I personally feel like it does give a lot of options to people. You know, not everyone is able to buy the big palette, because even though it's a little bit more affordable, they do tend to be in the 20 or 30 euro range. So it's nice to have a couple of little palettes. And, you know, some people might not be interested in eyeshadow palettes at all. So it's nice if there's a lip kit or something like that. And, you know, those little gadgets are also very cute, I think. Like the bag that I picked up for today. And I know that's the way Alex Kate feels as well. She was actually complaining about the Coraline collection not being big enough. So I'm just putting that deeper purple also a little bit underneath the lower lash line. Alright, we have a nice deep and dramatic base, but we can make it even more dramatic because there's also a black matte in here, which I am going to use, because why not? Okay, this is a really nice black. You see how effortlessly that builds on top of that purple? And it just sort of blends in with it really easily. Honestly, I'm so impressed. They're not quite as creamy or pigmented as my Glam Light shades, but they are a lot more affordable, and they do, after building up a little bit, give exactly the same effect. I'm just going to cover up my whole lid with this shade. I'm just taking my little washcloth and I'm going to remove that black pigment. So I can go back into YB, which was that lightest purple shade, and I'm just going to go over the edges. Alright, this is it so far. We've just used the matte so far, but there are a lot of pretty metallics in this one too. And I think I am going to use the silver metallic liner. So for today I want to go into Dreaming and pop a little bit of this in the center of my eye. Okay, so this is not the most pigmented shimmer. But it does make the the blacks seem really sparkly. I actually really like that. So just a little hint of sparkle. This is nice. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to try to use Puppet. It's a little bit deep, but since the rest of my eyeshadow is so dark, it might just work out. Yeah, like I said, the metallics are usually not the most pigmented, but they are pretty somehow. Yeah, I think that's exactly the little touch that the look needed. And I'm sure that if you use the right brush and you wet it, that it'll be even more pigmented. I just don't prefer to do that. And now I actually, I also really want to use shade because it just seems so pretty to me. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that underneath my lower lash line. See, this one is really pigmented. Just a little bit over there. I'm sure this would have been beautiful all over the lid as well. For now, this will have to do. So lots of smoky-eyed options in this palette. The only thing that I don't really think I'll ever use is this cream shade. But who knows, maybe for an all matte look someday. So I'm just going to take a black eye pencil. And I'm going to tightline with this. And also put it in my lower waterline. And I purposefully did not do anything along my lashes because we are still going to use this eyeliner. So while I've still got you all zoomed in, I'm going to use this. So the thing that was a little bit weird, and I'm not sure if it was a mistake, but I kind of wanted the lilac one, but for some reason it was twice as expensive as the other ones. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but I decided to pick two colors instead. So the plastic seal was a little bit difficult to remove, but this is what the liner looks like. I'm just going to show you the silver one up close because we are going to save this one for the second video. But I am going to swatch this one. Ooh, that swatches really nicely. And there are little sparkles in it. So I hope this one works well. Just going to... Yeah, I do think this creates a nice thin line. I'm also going to do a little wing. Okay, that worked perfectly. I do think this is a felt tip brush. I know some people don't prefer those. I personally don't mind. Either way. I do like the fact that this applicator is so thin. So I'd say it's not the most opaque, but it does really show. Just adding a little bit more on top, and I don't think that's making the biggest difference. But it looks nice and opaque enough. It's also because it's a little bit reflective that it may not seem as opaque as it actually is. I'm just going to keep like this for a little bit. So even the one on my hand, well, it's pretty much dry, but not completely. So they do take a little while to dry down. But I do think it looks really nice. I think these are good liners. So I'm just going to add some mascara and I'll add the rest of my face makeup as well, and then we can add the lip kit together and we can finish up this video. I'm back, pretty much all of my makeup is complete. I'll fill you in on what I used. I used my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation with a new primer today. I used this Beyond the Galaxy Oil Blend Glow Primer from Kruidvat, and I can really recommend this one, especially if you have a little bit more dry or normal skin and you want your skin to feel a little bit more slick. This really gave the NARS Reflecting Foundation what I always feel like it needs, just a little bit more shine. I mean, for some people this may be too much, and maybe I used a little bit too much of this, but for those of you who are in the Netherlands or close by, I can really recommend this one. I use my Benefit Boing Concealer and also their this one, the powder foundation, which I really liked. And I used my Tati lashes in the style TL39. And I specifically made the silver eyeliner a little bit higher so that you could still see it underneath, and I think it works. I used my NYX Lift and Snatch and also my Benefit brow filling, micro filling brow pen in my brows. I used the Makeup Revolution cream bronzer, which is one of my favorites at the moment. And then I used this blush from Shiseido, which is in my project pan, in the shade Aura Pink. And then finally I used my Dior highlighting palette in this pink shade. So that's all you missed. Now let's apply the contour lip kit together. This is in the shade Pink Lights, and it's just a lip pencil with a lip gloss. And well, recently I've been getting a little bit more into those. I used to be a lipstick only kind of person, but look how pretty they are. This kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury lip glosses with the diamond packaging. But this should be nice and Barbie colored. So this is what the lip pencil looks like. So I cleaned up my lips a little bit. Oh yeah, that's pink. This lip pencil isn't as creamy as the one in the Soph collection. I think it just needed to be warmed up a little bit. I feel like the last couple of passes were definitely a little bit more smooth. So that's the lip liner. Now let's apply the lip gloss. Yeah, I like that. It's definitely pink. You can see a little hint of pink. But it's mostly really sparkly. It's not very opaque. I think this is a lip gloss that will appeal to a lot of people. Just going to layer it up. Yeah, that definitely looks really nice. I'm going to give it a try with one of my more pink lipsticks underneath, but so far I really like this. So now finally I wanted to do a little test on the liquid liner. This is what I applied at the beginning of the video, and I'm just going to see if my hands are clean, if it smudges. Honestly, not that much. A little bit of sparkle came free, but this is actually a pretty bulletproof eyeliner, I think. So this is my finished look for today using the Coraline products as well as the liquid liner. And I look forward to doing part 2 with the blue liner, and I'll use it in combination with that little glitter palette. So subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see part 2 of this review, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.